And my thing seems a little blurry. Let's fix that. The blurriness. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's what they say. Good afternoon. They say it here. Good afternoon, Madame Lisa. Madame Lisa, in my life, I've never been called Madame. But here you be called Madame very often. And not just a foreigner. Call every woman or, older woman, somewhat younger, young lady. We're all Madames. So y'all, I've been playing with my hair a little bit. Okay. I've been splitting some of them. I didn't split them all because I don't want to split them all. I want them to be still natty, but like that. Like there's a lot of bongo ones in there, but we just, we're switching it up. We're switching it up. Hey, Bev. Hey, Book Miss T, baby. So yeah, y'all, I was really thinking about this idea, this feeling of the shift. Like, and I want to know, do you feel the positive shift within you? Because there is one. Like, I just feel like it's not even like, okay, a shift is a shift, right? Because when it's outside, it's actually dark. Yeah, but you can't really see it then. Okay, let's talk about this shift. Let's talk about the positive shift. Because a lot of times we look at the world, especially if we're in certain parts of the world, and we start thinking, "Oh my God, we're all going to hell in a handbasket, right? Like we're doomed. Like look how bad everything looks, and look what's going on, and it doesn't feel good, and why?" But I really, if you look deeper, and especially within yourself, there's really a positive shift going on amidst what looks like something negative. And let me tell you how you can know if you're experiencing this, or maybe you're overlooking it, and it would be good for you to see it. Don't so much, if you can get a chance, don't look at or list or name or observe or repeat everything that's going wrong. Because it's true, it's out there. Everything you're saying is happening. Nothing you're saying is not. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's saying lie to yourself, but notice in your own life how, because of sometimes what the world is looking like, how you are becoming, like you're becoming a new person. The things that you used to not care about, you're caring about more. The things that you overthought, the things that you worried about, you're so not as worried about those things. It's almost like, I feel like maybe maybe I will say like social media in a lot of ways, it kept us all perpetual children, even the adults, because there was no anymore East Coast is faster than the West Coast, or China don't know what time it is like the US, or because of the internet, everybody's really getting the same information at the same time. And it's almost kind of like blurring the lines of an adult as opposed to a child, as opposed to an elder. But, and that's kind of like detrimental, because the shift is helping us to grow up again. We're all starting to kind of act like grown-ups, especially the grown-ups. Because the grown-ups, remember, we were in a society where you never, well, when I say a society, I'm talking about a social media, if you will, society, a internet-based society that really says you never, ever, ever have to age. You could stay young forever. I think the worst thing that in a way, in some ways, that ever happened to Black America is the access to like plastic surgeries and filters, and so it makes like the women that they don't really ever have to age, and the men don't ever have to age. I mean, you got the weaves now for the men, so if they bald and they look their age, they don't have to. No one has to be gray anymore unless you do it for a trend or fashion. Like, it was really messing us up. Because think about it. If you want to really enslave somebody, one way to ensure that you are on top is to keep them docile. So if you're focused on the boobs that you're going to another country to get, or the ASS that you're going to another country to get, you're kind of, that's not the most important thing in your existence. I mean, I'm not saying as a society, I'm saying as an individual, that I bet there was more pressing things that maybe those ladies could have did, or the men with the weaves, maybe there was some more pressing things. You know, there was a time we used to differentiate the elder from the youngster, and the youngster from the baby. Now everybody could just stay the same age, but the shift I find, it's like people are starting to grow up again. They're not caring about the party. Yeah, I had somebody some while ago, but I mean, it's in this time, like, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about, and she's my age, maybe even a little older, and she was talking about how, she she didn't have any, so she wanted to live in certain places, but there was no activities, and there was no this, and there was no that. And I'm not saying that she was saying she wanted to go to the disco. I know, for you youngsters, that's the party. I'm not saying she said she wanted to go to the club, but I found it a little hard, just being in the situation that I know she was in, financially, relationship wise, everything. Hello, we got bigger fish to fry out here. You best try to secure yourself financially, maybe even get some land and get some, whatever, you move to another place. It's time to grow up. That stuff is not even going to assist. I would say to her, I said, socialization is going to look real different in a minute, because we're going to now care about the people that's around us and that we're around. We're going to start cherishing relationships with our children if they're good, and if they're not good, we're going to do our best to make it better. Or if maybe it might not be the blood relative that you figure it out that you should maybe make amends. Some blood relatives you can't make amends. Some you can. It's okay. But the neighbor is going to be way more important than the club or the play or the vacation. We're going to have to learn how to love where we are. I mean, and of course, love who you are. It's not a lot. It's not like I'm a party pooper. I don't look at my life as if I turned down, like I said, I had even some friends here. I'm in the age group that I'm not quite at the traditional retiree age, but I'm close. But a lot of the Black Americans that come to Ghana, some of them are retired, actually. And some, like one, maybe 20 years ago, most Black Americans or diasporans that came into Ghana, or maybe even the continent of Africa, they were retirees. So there's a certain kind, you might not believe this, but the retirees in Ghana, especially my Cape Coast folks, they love to party now. There's always a reason to get together. There's always a party going on. It might be a day party. We're a little older. We ain't coming out after 10. You already know. If it lasts past 10, ain't nobody. If it started at 10, we ain't coming. But the party could be, let's all go out and eat all the time. Let's all go out to this event. At some point, you don't want to one event, you don't want to them all, but it's this thing. It's like, I'm a retired girl. I could live my life. I could go out all the time. I could, travel to all different parts of Ghana. Nothing wrong. You got it. I don't want to say flaunt it. Live it. Enjoy it. It's your life. And but I'm in here thinking, okay, I need to own something. I would like to make money in this currency. I want to save my money. I have some goals, and I'm actually knocking them out. I want a world that's still left. And then let's go to the next layer. Now that it's happening, I don't even care about those things anymore. I want a little more depth in my life. I want to know who's really there for me or not. I want to build something, and not just a house or land, but I want to build relationships, even with the people that's already in my house. I don't know why it's okay to grow up. I'm saying this even to myself. I'm saying that it's okay for us to get serious. Because I think why people don't really want to get serious is because they don't think it's fun. But that's a child that still thinks that. I don't want to do that. That's boring. You know, I'm just saying, like, a grown up know that it's fun to own your own or grow your own food or, start a different kind of business that or be more connected to nature or sit with yourself and do nothing. But not this, but social media or internet world teaches us that you're not having a life because you're just sitting in your house and I'm around the world traveling. But it be that very woman that may be sitting in her house, her house is paid for, her car is paid for. I don't talk about myself. I don't have a house or a car, but just saying. She got land, she got investments. It's like we glorify, but those days are about to be over anyway. We glorify these things that thank you for the thumbs up, that when it comes down to it, it's not that it doesn't matter. Come out of it. You don't really believe that. It's not important to you either, the people that are saying it. You really want fresh foods. I know my sister was calling me today and she was just talking about how it's just damn near impossible in New York City to get a goddamn watermelon with some goddamn seeds that she could have delivered or go to on her budget and what she's working, the money she's using, specific kind of money. And she found one in Jersey and she tried to get it sent and there's $11 for the watermelon. By the time it got to her, it would be $38 and how you can hardly find it. And she was telling me today about she's in New York and she was in North Carolina and she missed North Carolina because there was green spaces and in New York there's not a lot of green and it feels more toxic in the air and food is so expensive and there's no nature and you don't hardly see trees and because you notice that when you go into nature and you live in nature and then you live out of you notice it. That's then the priority to me. Whatever your future plans is, let's figure out how we can make that because that's way more important than how many parties you can go to and how many places and things. And I know. People will call me like they don't even call me no more anyway. Yeah, they shouldn't call me because I ain't gonna go. I have to go to Accra because I have to do my residency renewal. Do you know why I don't want to go? Because it's all the trappings. It's not me. I don't feel like but I don't know. It's like you go to these places and you really don't need. Like I know this is a big deal for me, and y'all know me, so I would say the people that watch me know. Every time it was a haul. Here's a haul, whether it was a haul for Afrocentric home design or, goods that I bought from the Home Goods or something like that when I was in New York. Or I'm sorry, when I was in Canada, when I was in all the states. Or when I guess when I was in Accra, I would show you the new thing I made or the new outfit I was designing or the new this or the new bag. And I know you probably think we never see that. Honey, I wear the same clothes. I wash them and I wear them, but it's not that I'm even trying. It is the least thing that I think about. I don't think about I did a class or I got some money from the class or a consultation and I should run out and buy more. What's wrong with the stuff I got? Now, let me tell you though, that's how much I say the divine is so good. It does help. It does help that I live in the countryside. You don't even have to match here. I'm just trying to tell you. It ain't no fashion show. Your mind ain't even thinking about that damn thing. You ain't got no stores. If you did, they all use clothing that they clean up and put on the mannequin look really good, but it ain't even that much of that. And you know what you got the majority of stores in the country? Let me tell you, countryside stores. They sell stuff for farming. Yeah, I love it. You can get a shovel. You can get some boots. You can get any tool. You can get cement and plaster and this and that and sand, and you can get machetes or cut glasses. If they say you could get a bucket, and guess what? That's exactly what you need. I love it because it's so real. It's like this the people gonna buy because this is what people here do. They ain't doing that other stuff. And then you know what happens? I said, don't you feel the positive shift? You like, thank you, Creator. You took all that bullshit away from me. You took that bullshit away. And you made me feel like the moment I get to sit on the bamboo that was free from the forest, that moment is way more special than all the dresses that I could have gotten from Accra. The taxis in Accra were so expensive. A sister friend of mine, one of us escaped from Babylon. We got to do an Escape from Babylon series. One of my young sisters, my daughters, I'm going to call them my nieces, she escaped from Babylon. She'll be up here soon. And I'm so happy for her. And she does not want to be in the city. She totally wants to be in the country. And, you know, she was asking me, so she's like, sis, what about the modes of transportation? I said, oh, transportation? Oh, we got that. It's motos, cars, and that's it. But they're plentiful. And bicycles. I live in a community where people ride bicycles. And the people are all over 50 that do it. I'm seeing more girls on the bikes. I'm seeing more women on the bikes. Not a lot, but a lot. But this is a bicycle town. You can ride the moto. You can get a car. It's very... Do you know what I love to spend my money on? And the majority is the delicious and amazing fresh fruits. Not because it's a trend. It has a hashtag like kale. No. Because it just goes with this idea of truly loving myself and what's important, not just in my life, but in these times to come. And I can feel like it's embracing all of my mature. I almost look at it as like a sign, and thank you for the thumbs up. I almost look at it as a sign of like maturity. But again, going back, this society says, look at all the videos. Just to give you an example, you might not go this deep, but just think about it. Look at all the videos that's like, there's this channel that comes up in my algorithms to be like, she's 70 and she looks 35. Like, yeah, that's great. And like, those are so positive, but just look at still this idea that to be mature and to be older and to be like a mind of a mature woman or man is still like, even though she's that age, she doesn't act like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, yeah, but it's okay to grow up. It's okay to grow up. So I laugh at myself because I didn't know. That's why I say you follow spiritual spontaneity. Oh, the second one, part 2. Please go to the website and buy that one, $47. I promise you will not be disappointed. I know I got at least I saw 2 sisters from the class. I'm going to shout everybody out in a minute, that took it, and I asked them how the class was. Phenomenal. Let me tell you why it's so important to follow where spirit takes you and follow where spirit tells you to go. And it could be any way. It don't have to be all mature. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's the only route. There's many roads to the Most High. There's many roads to your desires. It will put you in places, and you might get to the place and you think, oh, this is the reason. Oh, this is the reason. And then it be something like some self-actualization, some self-discovery, some truth, some solitude, some serenity. It seems like this small thing, but it's actually, it almost like change your DNA, and at least change the DNA for those that's coming after you. Even if you never physically move another child from your body, you are still influencing other people. But in our grandmother's days, I'm gonna say somewhere, and some with some of my age group, in our mother's day and our father's day, I'm talking about that age group, we wanted to get grown. We wanted to, like, here it's so different, they want to be an elder. Like, Manasi cannot wait to get gray in his hair. He just thinks it's just the coolest thing. It's a symbol of a man. He says, I said, oh, you can name out nose and with beard. Some don't because, they want to be clean cut, whatever. And he says, yeah, we like it because it's a sign of being a man, a grown man. And it's not just a look, right? It's a mentality. I can take care of my own. I can't wait to be a grown man. Now everybody's in the I don't want to grow up stage, ever. And it's hurting us. Because the society pushes it, the makeup, like I said, the filters. Nothing wrong with everybody want to engage in that. That's fine. But I think it's you look at yourself in the mirror too. And I'm not even really just talking about your physicality. I'm not really even talking about that when I say yourself. But that too. And look and see how much you've grown. Look how differently you think about things. Look at what's important to you now. It's not the same. You're shifting in a positive way. And if nobody told you that today, I'm telling you that today. Like, I know, I see it in my relationship, but it's reflected back to me. I would not maybe even know that my mind is a little on different things. Like I say, my mind on my money, money on my mind. I would not even notice that as much, but this reflection that is sitting in front of me, which is my man, oh my God, the growth in him. But which came first, the chicken or the eggs? Is the growth in me, or is the growth in him, or is the simultaneous? How we talk, how we relate, how we understand. It's like another life, another relationship, because we are having another relationship with ourselves. We really are having another relationship with the world. We're having another relationship with the world. And we think it's scary, and it is different, and different could be scary, but it's not bad. If you think about, if you don't focus on the outer changes that you're seeing, you could really start seeing the inner changes, and because of this, we're changing. It's like maybe we needed this slap in the butt. Maybe we needed to be scared of one world currency. Maybe we needed to be scared of one world order. Like, maybe we needed this to start looking at, like, you know what? I should have been growing my own food anyway. I should have bought land already. I should have been there. What was I doing? I was shucking and jiving. I was partying up the club. I was in a party in the club. I don't necessarily mean literally. It's like it's making us take life a little more seriously, because the gift of life itself, the breath in our body, is precious. Get sick and then you realize how precious your life is. And a lot of us have been there. Get older and watch you realize that the breath you take is not taken for granted. It's not guaranteed. Go to sleep at night and really wake up in the morning at a certain point in your life, and you really will thank the Most High for waking up the next morning. But that used to come naturally. People used to want that. Like, let me say something too. I want to say this about Ghana. Ghana will make you that illusion of, in the States, like maybe people, maybe a stranger wouldn't necessarily ask you how old you are. They'll just say, you look good for your age, I don't know. They might be bold, but they might not. Or they'll make you feel like you could be young forever because you're small, so you can shop at Rainbow. That was me. But I'm in my 40s and 50s. I'm in 50s at this point. Ghana will call you auntie or mommy in a freaking minute, okay? Ain't nobody playing with you. I remember this was like, a few days ago, maybe like last week, and it was us looking at some other land, and it was the guy that was helping us that we work with. He is the same age as Manasi, around the same age, yeah. And he was telling me something. He was telling me about, I really backed this one up. He says, look, he says, mommy, mommy. I think he called me mommy or auntie. Doesn't say, but it was one of them old lady terms that I absolutely love now. I didn't before. He says, you could be my mommy. See, That'll mess some people ego up out here. You be jacked, nigga. Don't I look good for my age? Because America tells you, no, no. They put a thumbs up. No, no. You ain't nobody, mama girl. What you like? I kind of chuckled a bit in my mind, and I thought, yeah, it's true. I am. And I hear you, and I see you looking at me in the eyes, and I see you bowing, and I see you give, and I see it, and I accept it. Your whole bubble be bust out here. If you want to hold on to forever, you let it go. They will address you in title where you know ain't nobody fooled that you ain't no old lady. Okay, I mean that respectfully. I love it, so it shakes you out of that anyway. You can't stay young forever. And they're going to, the titles that they have to give you is a pretty good indication of what age they think you are. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I absolutely love it. I don't do these things anymore. Like can't explain it. I ain't fooling nobody. And the only person I'm fooling is myself. It makes you laugh out here. Yeah, you will get real. Like you will laugh your butt off. You be like, girl. So now you just wearing your little happy little dress. It's it's clean, you cute. But like I said, you ain't winning no awards. You can chuck some high heels. So where you going? You gonna walk and get stuck in the hill and get stuck in the dirt. I'm gonna have it to you on that one. You could chuck the skin tight pants that you can still get into because you can. It's hot and everybody wear a dress. They just make everything so they strip you down to the real you, the one that you didn't even want to see. And you just stripped. You wanted them. You wanted the lady. You need to go sit over there with the other ladies. Then you ain't sitting over there with the girls. You ain't no girl. The girls call you madame and auntie, and they curtsy to let you know I'm a little girl and you're a grown ass woman. And I love it because it does something to you. You don't have to waste your time playing that game trying to stay young forever. They not fooled. They can tell you're old. Yeah, at least they know you're older. At least that. I love it. I love it. I love a dose of realness. Even though you don't think you need a dose of realness, everybody should get one. It's a real, because it matures the brain, needs to keep growing, and you start thinking like a grown ASS woman. This is a concept now. Because a lot of people, I see it in the red, white, and blue. I know I was one of them, trying to hold on, but I didn't realize it. Can you imagine being in a place where not only should you not hold on, you should fully let go? Because if you fully let go, everything is good. Everything is great. You are stepping into what the Most High has intended for you. Let me go see who's on today. Lots of people from the group. Hey, Miss Book Miss T, baby. Good afternoon. Hey, Bev. I feel the positive. Don't you feel it, Bev? The classes have helped me so much with the shift. Oh, Beverly, thank you. Abundance in mind. Another one of my group members. Yes, to valuing each other. Yes. Peace and love. Sister, peace and love. Yes, another peace and love. Beverly, abundance. Give everybody greetings. Hey, Aurora. I'm looking for watermelon with seasons. Right, girl. Right? It's a problem, huh? So now we're giving love to all the ladies. I like that farming equipment, girl. You would come here and be like, okay, well, that's what we got to get. Let me go get some boots then. Synovia says, Beverly, an organic lifestyle. Yes, Synovia, great word. I didn't want the master class to end. Even though it went over 3 hours, I wanted the class to keep going. Thank you, Synovia. It was really Synovia Indigo. Let me make sure I give it the propers because I really love that name. But we said, I'm going to watch the master class again and take more notes. Thank you. That's the same as Synovia said. It's amazing how the younger people want gray hair. That's true, though. They know it's missing in us. They be like, well, the older people ain't doing it. Let me do it. Good observation, Synovia. Indigo. Abundance says, my biggest blessing is hoping for my elder children. Yes, isn't it? It's a blessing. The master class was the shift I needed. Thank you, ladies. Beverly, Abundance, Synovia, Indigo, Aikida. How are you, beautiful lady? It's called wisdom. Thank you. Aikida y'all, let me tell you what they call this. They call it wisdom. Yes, ma'am. Laugh out loud is bad. Yes. Like here in America, the respectful youth say yes, ma'am. That's why I earned the respect of being called yes, ma'am. I remember calling ma'am. I love ma'am. I love ma'am. In the South, that was the first time in New York. If they still, it might not be up. They wasn't up on it as well because they wasn't. But I love going down south when they called you ma'am. I did. I felt there was a warmness that I felt. I don't know. It's because it's very respectful. First of all, it definitely tell you that they recognize you older than them. And I just think about the women that I remember in here. This is it's a nail salon I used to go to. And there was a woman, she's younger than me, but she's clearly older than the boy, even some of the young girls that come get their nails done. So when a man came in as like one of the service workers to come in and do some work, so he kept saying, yes, mommy, because mommy is equivalent to ma'am, same thing. Yes, mommy, yes, mommy. She said, stop calling me damn mommy. This is a Ghanaian woman. I ain't a mommy because she wore her high heels and the tight jeans. And you can look and see, girl, you don't need to wear them jeans no more, okay? You know what I'm saying? And your feet look tired. Don't wear them heels. But it was like that holding on. And he could not say it because that's the way he was raised. Remember when I told you one guy could say, mommy, mom? I said, why do you keep calling me mommy? I'm not talking about her because I was her. He said, because it's a sign of respect. Like he wouldn't say dummy, but he couldn't say that. Sometimes in this world of internet, social media, we not even understanding it's a compliment to get older. It's a compliment to be addressed. We don't want to be called all these names, but when they call us our correct name with our correct title, I mean, I was there 2, 3 years ago. We'd be feeling the way. So I had to realize, like, this is the blessing. What are you running for? Stop. And then, but what really does, why I think they got, in the red, white, and blue, why they got everybody like that is they don't really want you to ever grow up. Why would they want you to grow up? You might actually do positive things and create more future for the younger ones, and you might actually start thinking about a future. You might not, if you don't have any wisdom to pass down, the kids ain't gonna make it. But I feel the shift. And so to me, that's one of the shifts. I feel like people are now saying, ooh, I look like a fool trying to squeeze into my daughter's jeans. And, ooh, I'm trying to think about this Botox and this and that. And like, not to say you can have you want it, but this ain't really where it's at. And they keep throwing down your throat that you're 70, but you should look 35. Why can't you just be a nice looking 70-year-old? It's like if you don't, it'll drive you nuts. You're going against nature. As Sylvia, someone man says, you're going against, and it's a waste of time when you could use that energy to really get older, to really go into what an older person does. A grown ASS woman, a grown AS man. There's a beauty in that, and if we don't remember, don't let none of this be turning your head around. So yeah, I think I said, I all of the sisters that my American friends, I say friends because I don't get to see people a lot. Of course, they're all older than me. They're older than me, and I'm probably if there was a word, and if it, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself that, but I'm sure I'm the most fuddy-duddy. I'm at least 10 to 15, sometimes even 20. Yes, 25 even. I guess they're not my peers, but the older ladies, as old ladies, I'm probably one of the younger old ladies, and I'd be like, oh, child, because I don't want to live like I'm going to die tomorrow. And I think sometimes they do, so they figure, well, I'm old anyway, why even go for more? Or why even want that now, I think it's got to be a calling on you, but I think all of us have such a deeper calling than what we even know. Some of us think it's not a calling, we don't have one, because we don't really want to sit down and look at our lives. I mean, old is not easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say there is a part of you that you do have to breathe the age thing in. You do have to breathe maturity in. Because I think sometimes on the other end, I understand, like it's a loss of innocence, you think. A loss of allure. A loss of being seen. because sometimes old people are erased in a society, particularly in a society of the so-called the Western world. So there's no you discard it. And like I said, as a woman, you feel like you lost the thing that makes you a woman. And I can understand that. You want to hold on to something. I think that we do need to have more balance though. I mean here do I will say sometimes I still say that the older women seem to be a little bit erased, or they're dumped into they should watch the children or teach the children and wait on the Lord to come get them. But it might be 60 more years before the Lord, because remember they elders in 40s here, you're elder in your 40s. So well, if I live to be, which they tend to do, especially in the village, they tend to live to be 100. So like, I got a good 70, 60 at least, and I got to wait on the Lord. Let me tell you what I was thinking, because I really, I'm an old lady crew. I'm accepting it. I would love to start women, not just women riding the bicycles, but the old gals like me, the 50 plus, the 60 plus. Because let me tell you, when I said that there's a lot of bicycle riders in my town, they're all men and they all clearly over 50. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's like that in different Asian countries too. It's mostly the old men that ride bicycles here. I would say that without a doubt that they are the majority. You really see an older woman. I think I saw, okay, I don't know. I thought I saw one before. I realized she was young. She just dressed older. I don't think I've seen one my age. But clearly I've seen men my age and I've seen them older. Now, Manasi explained to me that it's an affordability thing. The older men know the value of having a bike because it's a mode of transportation in a place where you could ride a bike. A lot of times, too, you'll see the middle-aged men, the men that's not as old, the ones that still would work, and they actually ride bikes, but they use it to carry basically food that they're chopping down for their animals, like the sheep and the goats. A bike here is serious still. It's leisure, but it's not leisure. It's a way to get to work. It's a way to get to where you have to go. But wouldn't it be one? But I'm seeing more girls, and I'm seeing more older, bigger girls. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see in Ghana, coming, especially in the little town I live in, to see women in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s riding bikes? I mean, that would like have to change the world. Like to say, no, I'm not gonna just sit and wait on the Lord. I'm a ride and wait on the Lord. Matter of fact, the Lord gonna have to come get me, and He know where to find me. I'm gonna be on my bicycle. I would love to see, because they have a lot of old people they don't get a lot of exercise. You might think, well, they out all day and they carry, they have goods sometimes on their heads, and that's grueling work, and a lot of them are very much in pain as they get older. A lot of excruciating big problems. So they actually don't really get exercise. And I don't think, too, that idea that an older person should still want to learn new things, I feel like that's not really here, especially like the town I live in. And I would like to challenge that. Because they look at me and you can see, I even see more bigger girls, I'm saying, riding bikes, and I'm sure they influence, I'm sure. I think I did see me, I can ask when I was even right. I think we did see one, yeah, I think we did yesterday, saw an older woman on a bike. And she smiled at me and said hi. You don't know, like, there's something about life in general that we all going to catch up to each other anyway. That's the new world order. And that we catch up to each other. And to say that okay, so in the villages, I find that the people, especially the men, but there's women too, but the men, they don't have nothing to do either. They need a life because they will hit the moonshine. They call it apoteshi. And it's a very rock gut liquor that they drink. And it's a problem in the village. And nobody ever talks about this on YouTube. I know they want to look bad. Just stop it. Come on, Ghanaians. We're all human. And it's really a lack of nothing to do. Because you got to understand, they don't need money in the same way because they all own their own land. They land is they when they granddaddy when he was alive, he built a house for all of his sons. So traditionally, it's expected that if you have a family and you have boys and girls, that you build a house on that land that you own for each of your sons. And the idea is that he's going to come back and bring his wife and his children to live there. And the daughter actually goes and gets married, so she's not carrying the name. So unfortunately, I know there's some people fighting it. She ain't really left nothing. That's okay because her husband, when he dies, she gets everything. So there's balance in the way it works. So the land, they got land. Every last one I ever met, if they connected to their village, they had their granddaddy, and they would say, make sure that everybody has land. And of course, the women can come back anytime. And now, keep that in mind. Now they grow, they're farmers. What they grow foods, pennies on the, it's not no money. So they can eat, they can chop, as they say. So there's not much more to do. And I feel like they're just bored. And I think it would be so nice, like, what I'd be thinking in my mind, like, I don't know what the men can do because I'm a woman, so I don't really know what they can do. But I know the women. I know, like, I think it would be so awesome. Because let me tell you, when they do ride their bikes here, I don't know how they do it. When the women ride their bikes here, I swear to God, they have a dress on. I'm not, no, not a loose dress. I'm talking about the African dress that, that's, I'm gonna try it tomorrow because this is a phenomenon to me. I want to see how you're riding the bike with a dress on. I know it can be done. I've seen it. Yeah, they had it. You're right. I did see it. The little flowy. No, they don't even have that. They have the dress. No, honey, they wear with their dresses. They full dress. Because here, the women are not going to put the leggings on and they're not going to show their butt like that. Like, this is not going to happen. It's not very decent. And Accra is different, but not here. But I would love to see us old gals out on these streets riding. And my man is so behind me. He's like, no, that would be cool. And we could be a thing. It'd be written up in the little Hohoi paper, newspaper, and it'd be on the radio. And so I'm gonna put it out there because they are. I in this town and this other towns, the capital of the Volta region is called Ho. I love this actually. Ho is Hohoi, but anyway, and Ho. They want me to come on the radio. There's Black American. And they was like, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, I don't know yet. In both cities, here and that other city. And I want to talk about the road, not the road, but like that I don't think the women here are dead yet either. And I think it's beautiful the way in the law, because I am not gonna be insulting their Christianity, okay? Ain't nobody stupid. I gotta live up here. But I would love to, I think women would love it. I could just see now these women trying to ride a bike. I think that alone is going to make us all laugh so hard. I think they'll be excited like little kids. It's one thing to act immature, but to feel the child within you now you're getting closer to, getting in so-called heaven. I feel like it would be just so thrilling. Like I can tell they look at me and they smile. They always say hi. It's a different kind of like, look at her with her gray hair. Look at this woman right here. She doing it. They be like, you could do it. Like the men always say you could do it. The men laugh too at first. They're like, oh, I'll see you after walk. I'll be like, yes, sir, but it won't be like this forever. Papa, I'm about to burn. I'm about to leave you in the dust. Of course, I never say that. I'll be thinking it though. I love it. I love it. So I do think that there's this balance that it's going to happen, that we're going to do things that make us feel good because, like I said, I remember like they have this idea that you're a certain age and you should just wait for the Lord. You should never want a man again. You should never want a husband. And then I had an African sister tell me, yeah, but you know what's deep? That's why the 55-year-old, the 40 or the 35-year-old, or no, actually the 55-year-old be sometimes coming up with a STI or, something she can't get rid of, and the whole family going, I thought you just went to church, what you doing? And it's because, she can't really tell nobody. She's still, it may be snow on the top, but there's fire down below. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And I think that they would love to not work. I mean, they're going to work from sun up to sundown, but I think they would love to learn something so new and be like a representation of these African women. And I just said we're gonna call it woman rise or uprising, the uprising of African woman or African woman uprising or something. I was like, look at you fire. And his mom, everybody, like I said to her, she's like, I would like it. I said, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Don't you want to ride a bike with you? She's like, wait a second, no. And she's like, no, wait, like yeah. I was like, yes, it would be so cool. It's good exercise because she's suffering a lot because she's been a market woman since she was 9 years old, so she's suffering bad. And I just thought like, when I think about now what I would like to do for my community, here it wouldn't be to stop the violence. That's not. If you try to hurt somebody gonna tell. I mean, first of all, you're all related, and I don't know if you can do crime like that and not get caught here. You know what I'm saying? So it is to bring, it is to recognize our aging and recognize our wisdom, recognize our maturity, but still know that we got life left. We don't just want to sit down and tell the children how to live. We want to actually move our bodies and still want to be productive members of society. Because yeah, the alcohol thing is a real thing here. It's and appetite she's made. It comes from the palm wine, but it's not. The palm wine itself is good and natural and only over anything. But it's the vapors, y'all. They call it the vapors. It's the vapors, y'all. It's the vapors. It's a whole little thing, and sometimes you get so mad because you want to talk to people or do business with people or just they can be so talented. They be so talented. They be talented carpenters and masons and builders, and then they can't do anything because they ain't gonna come back because they drink in the morning and the night and in between, and it's just, but it's they don't have nothing else to do. So, you know, I think it's a mix. Like I said, there's a balance of that we age, but why can't we find that little? I get emotional. Find that little, that person, that light that's still in the eyes of an old person. There's a light inside there. Even more, I know my mother used to tell me, do you know that in your lifetime you're twice a child? And I tell her, like, how so? She said, when you're first born and when you're getting ready to leave, as you get older, there's a point you get older that you almost kind of become a little more childlike because you're going back. And how many spiritual texts talk about having that heart of a child, that vigor of a child. So that's different than wanting to be a teenager. Wanting to be a child is not something you try, it's inside of you and it wants to come out. And so I think that's the balance. The focus on I look young because I don't take myself so seriously in some ways. Because the parts of me that still can do things that I like ride a bike or even get on roller skates or whatever it is, I still want that. There's a part of me that still wants to skip and, I just feel that in us. I feel like there's the balance. I think that it's both. And I think that's often not really on the social media too. Like what are we gonna do with the old lady instead of trying to make her not look her age and how she defies aging when aging and being youthful don't have to be mutually exclusive. That even within the aging so-called mind, body, and spirit, there is youthfulness still there. There's a life. That's why I was saying, like, I feel like the shift is going towards more living instead of dying. But that the proof of your living doesn't have to come in some 30 then years than your really age is. It doesn't have to come in that form. That it can come in, I got my gray hair on my bike and my older self, and but look, I'm on a bike. And I'm going downhill for the first time. And it feels so good. It's deeper. So, do you feel the shift? If you feel the shift, I'm going to invite you to go on the website. I'm going to invite you to go on the website, and I'm going to invite you to go to Spiritual Spontaneity. We got Spiritual Spontaneity 1. We got a Spiritual Spontaneity 2. We even got a special. If you buy both of them, you get a special. You do have to be on Facebook because it's a Facebook, like, kind of, we do a group for Oh, that's right. The PDF. I got the PDF. Number two, I got the PDF. I'm going to add that to the group. Love Clever did. I just want to announce that. But yeah, and you just add it to the group, and the video's there, and you will absolutely love it. And every time I teach that spiritual spontaneity class, I mean any class, but something about them spiritual spontaneity class, that's straight, no chaser from the Most High. It's concepts that I myself have never sat around and thought about. Even though I'll say, I was thinking, I meant that day or that moment 15 minutes before. I feel like I'm channeling the ideas, the thoughts, the concept. It's going further than I've ever gone before. This is what I call maturity. This is what I'm calling allowing myself. Sometimes I have to tell myself, I have to remind myself, I'm not trying to stay young, or I'm not competing with anyone else. It won't happen. You're an older woman. You're not going to keep competing with no younger girl. I even have to remind myself as an older woman, sit in that. It's freeing, y'all, to not have to compete or not have to be self-conscious about, do I look old in these jeans? Should I be wearing these? Like, you're just yourself. And it's a floating. And it's best to turn off the social media because they calling a woman in her 30s old, so we know it's done. If that's the case, But here too, like a lot of times the women here, if they didn't get married before 30, yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost a wrap. Isn't that kind of sad too? But you got to understand it's a society that's based on producing children. And the more children you have, the more valued you are. And that's just the truth. I mean, if you're saying anything against it, of course, like people, you bring it from this way. Oh, I ain't saying nothing against it for it. I'm impressed by how many babies they had. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. I'm sure if I was here, I would have pumped out 7, okay? I know I would have 5 in the States, but that's a whole other story. We don't want to get into my personal business, but 7, I'm sure it would have happened. Just go GP, because I wouldn't have known nothing else. And I don't think they're unhappy. They're very proud to say they're the mother of 7, the mother of 8, the mother of 10. They're proud. So there's no imbalance. The ladies don't feel, trapped. But, and I love that too. I can love it all. I can want different things. I can add what I have. But I have a very much respect for African life. No one's perfect, but there's definitely a naturalness and a flow. You don't feel that tension that sometimes when I'm reading stuff about the States and it's almost like there's a purposeful war. We know why they're doing that. You feel that imbalance here. You don't feel like the men hate the women and the women hate the men and everybody's telling the opposite sex is telling each other what their role should be. We don't see that here. You don't feel, it's this natural flow. It's a natural, I talked about this from the first time I came to the last. There, you don't feel that feeling. Now, don't get me wrong, that maybe in the, like offices and maybe in other places where women may not feel like they have a chance as a man. Maybe that. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about because I would call being in the village the most natural state of being. But I felt it in Accra too. It's like, it's not like sometimes, when you join, like, I remember joining like those conscious, black conscious kind of groups. I'm part of it still in my mind, but I was definitely part of it. And how sometimes you would feel like, why all the men got to go over there and women all go in the kitchen, and the men congregate, let's say, in the front room, right? And those organizations is very much like that, right? Here, first of all, there's no real kitchen. It's not like the women all come together and they stay in the house, first of all. And the women are working, so but there's as she walks by that man and then walks back her, there's a connection that I cannot explain to you. The understanding of who is who and what is what, but it doesn't feel like that she has to be up in the kitchen with the other ladies. And the men all come together. She can sit and if she wanted to, but you know what? It's so deep. You can't even look at it. You can't even create scenarios based on the American mindset. There's no way to explain how you don't feel that. You don't know. It's not that. It's something else. There's a respect for the woman, but there's a respect for the man. But there's no outwardly thing that they're doing to show you that there is or isn't. It's like spiritual spontaneity. It's happening. You can't explain it. To talk about it changes it. To try to define it changes it. That is probably the most impressing, the most thing that stays with me is this balance, because I don't know if in real life, because I don't know if sometimes social media is real life or internet is real life, that there seems to be this war against men and women, especially black men and women. But I've never felt that here. You love that. You love, and even the definition of woman or the definition of feminine, they got that. That one is all wrong. The woman that's the fit. No, the women here are so, I mean, they're carrying things that sometimes are heavier than the man carries. You know, so what is femininity, right? But they are clearly still women. So they even got us messed up with the idea in the States, or to me in the Western world, these ideals of femininity. It makes me laugh because I'm seeing true womanhood and I'm seeing true manhood. And it doesn't look like anything that people would say it is. It's such a, because it's, I think when you are in your natural environment, then everything flows in a natural way, even who you are in relationship to your male or female counterpart. I've never seen women shut up, or I'm the man, or that. And I'll tell you, I have a difference. Unlike when I was in, and no offense to anybody that might be watching from DR, when I was in Dominican Republic, oh, that machismo was bad for everyone. And it was very there and clear. I know they was knocking some of their women upside their heads. Like, I mean, it was so ridiculously ugly and bad, and I don't feel that here. I don't hear them talking disrespectfully. They might tell you something, but it's you and them. They not on the radio talking about these women, and they don't know how to act. Or the women ain't saying the same thing. They might say it for themselves maybe, but people are so busy, I can't even explain it. And I love that I cannot explain it. It's a feeling. The groups, I mean, the people that took spirit, go get the second part of spiritual spontaneity, or the first, or get both. And you'll understand. I really went into it about the feeling of how black people, we have to go back, we have to feel something for it to be real. We can't fake things. And that Africa way, that right there, I will never put that part down because it's normal. And it's, how do they do it? It's amazing, but it's normal. It's natural. Anyway, I could over-explain and it just take away from it. And I don't really want to do that with y'all, but I'm going to do anybody. I absolutely love, like, things I love about that. I love that dynamic. I never felt like that in anywhere of all the places I traveled in my life. And it goes to show me, if I went to some countries and they were majority black countries, and whatever the colonizer that took over that country, them evil parts, I'm going to have to say it's influenced by the strangers and not the natives. Because here is the epitome of those things. This is, or the epitome of what the first man and woman is. It's very, very, very beautiful. And the roles is interchangeable. There's men that cook and clean dishes. There's women that go out and work. No one would say, "Oh my God, the man he's using the women." Although, but the men work too. The men do the farming, but the women do too. The men could cook and clean, and the woman could too. It's not these very defined. I mean, there are some things like, okay, a man, like if you're washing clothes, your husband might not supposed to be out in public washing the clothes in the what do you call it, in the compound. But in your house, he can wash all the clothes he wants to. Nobody is, it's okay. So so these, when I hear the young boys, when I, watch the Western TV, it's like, I call it to all that TV. I feel like they got it all wrong. They're describing the wrong woman. Like, here the idea of, people got the idea, the traditional role is that a man works and the woman stays home with the children. Okay, if somebody could show me that in Ghana, I would love to. I know it might exist. Maybe it exists on a higher level because I feel like they follow more of the the European kind of sensibility. I have never seen that here. Now the man's supposed to be the provider, maybe yes, but the woman still helps. I mean, everybody's working, but the work can define the difference between the man and the woman. I will say that. Maybe the work. But there's market men too, not the same market women. They carry other stuff. They sell, and it's interesting what the men sell. The women sell fruit and this and that. They sell a little bit of everything, but the men sell maybe the electronics and the wires and it's not as many. They hustle in many other ways, carrying, doing work, building the houses. Like I never saw a woman mason. I've never seen a woman carpenter. But the men traditionally will go into those roles. But the market men are very few, not like the market women. But the market women are still, think about it, she makes her own money. You see the oxymoron? She's not fitting neatly to some stereotypical version, which is probably based on some Eurocentric ideology. She is a market woman. She's selling fruit. That might seem girly to you, but she out there all day. And her, like I said, look at the market women aprons. Them aprons be long, honey, with the pockets in it. They making their own money, but they bring it home as one. Because the man been out all day too, laying bricks, chopping something. He hustling, steel bending. It's a beautiful thing. But the thing that I don't know, I want to know where that came from. That the man is the only one that works, and the woman just takes care of the kids. I've never. The women have the kids on the back while farming, or they have the kids on the back while maybe out in the market. I have a young lady, young girl. I'm an old woman, so she cleans the clothes, and her baby's on her back. But I got that bed outside. So now, when sometimes she puts the baby and lay the baby on the bed, oh my God, it's the cutest thing to see the baby on the bed, like my little baby on the bed. It's too cute. See, abundance. And the rest of my crew, I love the baby on the bed. I be telling, yeah, please, yeah, put the baby on the bed. But they don't even ask you. I love that. You'll be here, let's say you're sitting in a car, and it could be a trotro, which is like a bus, or it could be like a smaller taxi. And the woman, she'll sit in and she'll give you the baby while she sit down. She don't have to know you. You're that baby's mother too. Oh, you could ask the, no, you don't even have to ask her to take the baby. You tell the baby, come on, baby, come to me. If mommy got 3 or 4 kids, everybody helps. If you're taking a taxi, before you pulling off, and you say, okay, taxi, I need to go put some money on my Momo, which is like mobile money, and I need to stop over here and get a hat. Oh yeah, they take you because everybody got to help. She's a mother. She has babies. What we doing? It's such a community. It's such a natural way of life. We're all the child's mother. We really, really are all the child's father. That's why an older man, you say grandfather. You say grandfather, grandfather. That's what you call it, grandfather. You say daddy if it's a little older than your dad's age. Every man is daddy. You say mommy or grandmother. You say auntie. Everybody is your family. So everything, that's why you literally, if a kid is bad and it's not yours, you can spank the kids. You better do it. If you don't, you are responsible for letting that child out into society. Shame on you. One bad child is bad for the entire community. So it's everybody's responsibility, and that's the truth. It's a beautiful thing. I ain't put my hands on no child. I ain't put my hands on nobody's kid because I ain't used to it. Where we come from, you go to jail, and the parents are the one that put you there. It's another life. It's another life. And it's a great one. There's a lot of balance, and it's natural. So I feel great. People definitely speak, and I love it. I love it. And of course, you're my age, they give you a chair. Yes, child. I get all the chairs, honey. I don't never have to stand up long. Never. So, yeah, maybe in America, I'll conclude that maybe we would want to get older if we know we can look forward to such treatment. So we need to work on that as a people. Anyway, if you're interested, you should go on the website, afrocentrichomedesign.com. You can get Spiritual Spontaneity 1, Spiritual Spontaneity 2, Next Steps of $47 for each one. Or you can get both of them together. Instead of $94, you add it up, it'll be $74 because you're getting the first one for $27. Consider buying one. One does not, you, I would get the one with both, but they both work independently as well and just as well. So 40 people, I love it. 18 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I'm here for you. So I love the thumbs up because I know you're talking and listening, but at the same time, I already know you're listening because that's why you're here, and I appreciate it. I love doing YouTube from this perspective where I just want to share when spirit hits me. So I wanted to share. My man's friend came over, his male friend. So I said, oh, great time to be with my sisters while he with his brother. So there it is. Okay, that's right. So thank you for the man. Akita, yes, work and work. Hey, Checky, your words, or Cheeky, I love the name. Love your words, really appreciate you. Thank you. Akita says, thumbs up, peace, family. Beverly says, I earned all these years under my belt. Yes, ma'am, that's right. Peace and love. Akita, Sonovia giving love. Seems these men need to know the difference between girls and women, and that's the truth. Akita, thank you for that. Hashtag mommy, hashtag auntie, yes. The tired feet, yes, ma'am. I'll be looking for a seat. Hashtag shift, that's right. That's right, Akita. Beverly says companies also make lots of money from the anti-aging products. That's exactly right. It's a money thing. That's right, Akita. Yeah, that's right. That's the thing they say. Yes. It's a trick to get you to slow down and give up on your dreams. Absolutely, Akita. So Novia said, that's right. I felt that. So Novia says, I see ladies in their late 40s who are still holding on to their 20s. Girl, I see it too. Thinking they can dress like those young girls in their teens and 20s. I'm not saying they're just like, oh, man, but come on, So Novia, I see it too. And I go, well, we need to let go. See, here, they'll look at you in a way you'll feel shame, and you'll never come out like that again. I promise you. You'll want to look like a dress. It's the most beautiful thing. Akita, she get the bike rider, yeah. So it says bike riding is for all ages, and here in America, not enough older people are riding bikes, right? That's right. But there are so many states here that are not bike friendly, especially the South. You're right, especially the South. Akita, yes. Nellie's Maria R says, my mom's in her 60s and she still rides her bike. That's right. P, I love your mama for that. And girl, I'm close to 60 and I'm here for it. This is where organizations and entrepreneurship come into play. Absolutely. Nellie, your mama, she's a trailblazer. That's right, Sonovia. Akita says, beautiful. Hey, Sierra, I'm definitely learning to dress my size. I feel more beautiful and secure when I'm not stuffing my body until gone. Speak, Sierra. Isn't that the truth? Sonovia, yes, thank you. Sounds like they need wellness centers. They do. They need it, Akita. They would appreciate it. They are watching you ride your bike. That's very encouraging to the Ghanaian community. Absolutely. Wow, says Akita. There's balance and healing. It is. Exactly. There's so much youthfulness in me at age 60. It's amazing. Yes, and we want to express it. And I think that women don't often get to do that, but I know they would like to because somebody just got to come and like, y'all want to try? I see y'all looking. Akita, hashtag spiritual spontaneity. Yes. On me, okay, it's French or something. Hello, you have, okay. So anyway, who is my people? That's all of my Sonovia, Beverly. Okay, well, let me get them out. Let's watch for the, what do you call it? Trollers. Y'all having a hard time getting them out? Let me see, I can get it now. Okay. All right, so we got that. That should be gone. Yes. Okay, I've always been athletic, and the damn sure came in handy. I said, yes, man, because you look absolutely beautiful, stunning, and fit. Peace and blessings to you, Lisa. Hey, C. Baptiste, how are you? Hey, Kalea, blessings to you. You know, Lisa and family, it's gotten really bad out here with men saying that women are not feminine enough. That's what, it's disgusting to hear it, but I don't even think they know what feminism is. They don't. Because if they came here, they couldn't say that. Out here in the States, America, all of it. I see it. I see it, Queen. I see it, Kalea. Sonovia says, I didn't hear any disrespect between a man and woman while I was in Ghana. That's right. Now, if they do have a disagreement, they will wait until they are in the privacy of their own homes to address the matter. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Kalea. Yes. Sonovia. Market hashtag market women. Yes. Kalea, so good to see you, sis. Akita giving all her love. Same. It has been a while. Yes. Good to see you. Hashtag grandfather, hashtag grandmother, hashtag daddy, your real community, hashtag papa. Yes. Like, share. Thank you, Akita. Snowy says, I remember growing up in my community, aka Hood, in Birmingham, Alabama. If you didn't speak, that was considered rude. You better believe it. And they would think that you got a problem with them. And they would tell somebody in your family you didn't speak. Comment, support. Thank you, Akita. That's right. If you want to support, you want to donate, feel free. Hey, Alan, it's been forever. At least a long time. I am good. Thank you. It's good to see you, Akita, Synovia. It's good. I love y'all. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go see what the man is doing. I can tell his brother has gone, and I've had my hour with the sisters, so I'm going to get my other balance because you are part of my balance as well. Hope you'll go to the website, afrocentrichomedesign.com. Check out what's available, and you won't be disappointed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.